This is Paul for Redneck Sports. I believe that everybody should win in life, or at least attempt to. The first three maxims of General Robert Nealon's game maxims, I believe apply to everybody. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. If at first the game or the breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam. Welcome to the channel. Now let's discuss some sports. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. So, week 10 is coming up. This has been a college football season that it's just been a wild ride. And so I'm going to cover, like I always do, 5 games that I think you should watch that should lead to even more wild rides. Now, some of them, you might think, well, it's obvious who's going to win. Do you really think so after all the football that has been played this year? Games that you thought were going to go one way, and somehow they went another way. I mean, seriously, folks, we really need to watch these games because so many things are going on differently. So I'm going to cover these 5 games, and we're going to see if any of these 5 games, like my ULM pick last week, is something that could shock everybody. The first game I'm going to go over is a 23.5 point spread. They are saying that San Diego State will lose to Boise State by 23.5 points. Yep, you got it. Now, Boise State just came off of a very big win. They went into enemy territory and they took on their biggest risk game in the Mountain West. And they came away winners. It was a good game. And now they're playing the San Diego State Aztecs. Now look, do I think that they could lose the game? No. I mean, on the back of Ashton Jeanty, they are 4th in the nation for rushing. Passing yards are 101st, and San Diego State's 133rd. Total yards per game, Boise State is 6th, and the Aztecs are 183rd. But, this is when things get dangerous because Boise State is looking at a long November to get that chance at the playoffs. I think that they'll win the game. I honestly do. But San Diego State, well, you know, they could have their moment because Danny O'Neil, I mean, he's got an ability. He's got some ability there. And, you know, this is when those teams that haven't been performing perform. So we'll see. Now I got to go back to Navy. I think Navy got the shaft when it came to losing their ranking because they got beat by a team that is now in the top 10. Notre Dame is 8th overall. Navy is still 6-1. They're playing a Rice team that just lost their coach. You know Navy's feeling it after that game. You know that they're hurting. Rice has got nothing but emotions. So far this year, they've only beat Texas Southern and UTSA. They lost to Connecticut, which got rid of their coach. Am I saying that this is a guarantee? Well, take a look at a few of the other teams this year that, well, in past years, not just this year, but past years. It hasn't happened this year. Rice is the first one this year. And tell me if that doesn't happen on occasion. You know I love me some Navy football. You know I'm going to root for Navy. But this is a dangerous game. Rice is going to be emotional. Navy is going to be in an ill mood. So you don't know what's going to happen. I honestly believe Navy will run the game. It will not even be a worry for Navy. But emotions are another thing altogether. So we'll see. Now look, Florida, Georgia is not looking like it's going to be a hum. It is not going to look like a banger of a game. But Billy Napier's fighting for his job, and he's turned this team around from what happened at the beginning. They beat Mississippi State 45-28. Georgia won 41-31. Kentucky, they beat Kentucky 48-20. And Georgia was only able to beat them 13-12. Florida is needing to win if Billy Napier is to keep his job. Rushing yards, Florida's better. Passing yards, Georgia is definitely better. Total yards per game, it's 427.9 yards for Georgia, 413.3 for Florida. Florida is fighting. They won a bowl game at least. They are fighting right now. And this is a rivalry game. Kirby Smart, in my opinion, came back most likely because of this rivalry. So we're going to see how this happens. Do I think Florida's got a chance? No. But I think, in all honesty, that Florida's not going to make it easy for them. So it's going to be a good game to watch. Another game that shouldn't be too much of a humdinger, but most people would not expect this. Indiana is 8-0. Think about that. I don't remember the last time I ever saw Indiana in the football rankings. Michigan State is 4-4. This is one of those trap games. Am I saying that Michigan State's got a chance? No. They lost to Michigan 24-17. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Boston College. Iowa, they were able to beat. I mean, you're looking at a team that, okay, they beat Maryland, Prairie View A&M, Florida Atlantic, and then they got into the crux of their season. Michigan State needs a win from a big time ranked school. Indiana is probably feeling annoyed. They are only ranked 13th in the nation. They want to be in the talk for a chance to be in the CFP. I think that Michigan State is going to fight for this game. I don't think that they'll be able to win this game, but they're going to fight. Because I'm sure that they want to have a chance at a bowl game. And their schedule is not looking pretty for them for the rest of the season. But they should be able to beat Purdue and Rutgers. Possibly. So Indiana and Illinois are going to be their thing. So they're looking at a 6-6 season. Unless they can surprise someone. So we'll see what happens. The last game that I'm going to say that you need to watch is Pittsburgh and SMU. Both of these teams are unbeaten in ACC play. Pittsburgh 7-0 and SMU is 7-1. The only team that beat them is BYU, an out-of-conference loss. Now, BYU is number 9 in the nation right now, but you take a look. Pitt is their big game. Now, Pitt has been playing hard. They beat a somewhat decent Syracuse. But this isn't their big game. They've got Clemson coming up. And they beat Kent State. Ooh. Cincinnati. West Virginia. Youngstown State. North Carolina. And they only beat North Carolina 34-24. Cal 17-15. Syracuse was a stomp game. But this is going to be one of those games. Seriously, this is going to be one of those games where these two teams are trying their best to not be disrespected because everybody's expecting Clemson and Miami. These two teams are saying, we've got a standing here. So they're going to fight hard. They're going to see what they can do in this game. So watch this game. It'll be important for the ACC. And Pitt don't like them all that well, but they do know how to fight. Now, all these games could go the way that I think they're going to go. I honestly think that Pitt could beat SMU. But seriously, that's not a guarantee. Navy will most likely beat Rice. Boise State will most likely beat San Diego State. Georgia will most likely win the Florida-Georgia line game. And Indiana will probably mollywop Michigan State. But you don't know. That's the exciting thing about college football this year. You don't know. Who thought Alabama would get beat by Vanderbilt? Who thought that Vanderbilt would be able to do what they did to Texas, even though Texas won? That was a close one. Who thought that Kentucky would be able to take Georgia to within 1 point of losing? This has been one of those seasons, and we're not done yet. We've still got this month, and this month is going to be nasty. So, folks, these 5 games will determine a lot. I still think that Navy's getting disrespected yet again. Boise State's getting disrespected. In all honesty, I'm not sure about SMU. I think that they're getting disrespected a little bit. And, well, Florida, Napier's needing something right now. And, man, could this do it. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. I've had some fairly good success with all of my Redneck Sports stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the topic. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that rigmarole. And also, just let me know what you want to hear about. I'll give a redneck spin to this stuff. Let me tell you, I love sports. So, I love people that want to join me in that. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.